Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a new or recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Liber, which is a third-person puzzle type detective game from what I've able to glean from the first section of it. I haven't got very far because the game's direction is non-existent. As always, we'll look at the settings first and then we'll jump into actual gameplay and I will discuss my thoughts and feelings of it. So far, I am less than impressed. The opening cutscene did leave a bad taste in my mouth. The settings are subpar and the game's sheer lack of direction is bewildering and maddening. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump straight into it, shall we? Alright, settings menu. Now, looking at this and looking at the sort of game we're dealing with here with very textured models and stuff, you can already tell what my problem's going to be. First off, it seems to change from VSync on or off regardless of whether you save the settings or not. The menu itself doesn't look great and there's nothing here. You've got view distance, AA and texture resolution. There's no customization here at all, and I can see this game being fairly graphically intensive on a lot of low-end machines. This menu needs fixing. Now, it is important to note that this game has been out about a month now, so the current condition of this game is inexcusable in my opinion. There needs to be more. You cannot have a game looking, to be fair, as good as this one, and yet having no options to customize and change. You need to have that accessibility for more people. Also, I'm fairly sure I didn't see any subtitles in this at all. It's not good enough. There needs to be more. This menu is... It's not the worst menu I've seen this year. It's going to take a lot to break Smell Mage, or Spellmaster, or whatever it was called. But this ranks up there as bad. This isn't good. Let's see what issues I've got with the game, shall we? Alright, so we're in the game. As you can see, it looks very, very good. Like, it's quite detailed. There are a few things that I'm really not a fan of with the way that they've kind of done the text over and stuff. It looks kind of slapdash, tacked on for no real reason. And the game is basically it's like a 3D point and click. What I mean by that is that you walk around and you've got to find clues, and when you find those clues, that will then open up the next objective. It doesn't make it abundantly clear that that's what you've got to do. It kind of gives you the one instruction and then you're kind of left to your own devices. Which is, it's fair enough. I mean, not every game needs to hold your hand. I did struggle for the first time. There is an autosave feature, I would assume, because I haven't found where I can actually save the game yet. You press P, which is how you enter your inventory, and there's no save button. You just get main menu and quit game. And when I went to main menu last time, it started me in at the very beginning again. I had to watch the opening cutscene. So it's important to bear that in mind, that if there is an autosave, it's not that frequent. Outside of that, the opening sequence kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. You're introduced to this character who is a bit of a nerd, a bit of a geek, and he is on the phone to a very toxic friend who basically mocks him and says that the reason why he's single is because he's smart. And that really did rub me the wrong way. I don't know why they chose to introduce the characters like this. It just felt very cringy, and I wasn't a huge fan. Also, as you can notice, there is a bit of motion blur on, and as you've seen from the settings, there is no way to turn that off. They really need to work on their options because of simple things like that, which are quite off-putting. Now, you get to a certain point in the game, and you will come across this lock. There are a couple of things to note about this lock. Is when you try and exit, if you press escape, which a lot of times is how you would leave it, it just takes you to this and you press escape here. You've not actually left the lock screen. You're just in a different view, which to me seems a bit silly. So you have to actually hit the E key to exit to go back into it. Press the P button again to go into your inventory because you've got to go to the right note so you can flip it around and look. So this is a reverse of Liber, or Liber as the game is called. So I'm assuming that you've got to type in the code backwards. That's the only thing I can think of in order to unlock the key. Because I tried Liber and it didn't work. So I'm assuming that is what we're going to have to do. So we want R first. If R is on there, it's not. So we're going to go with Liber then, and we're going to try and see if it works. Because I tried this before and it said it was wrong, which I thought was really interesting. Invalid password. So it's not that. But I can't do it backwards because there's no R on the first lock. So I don't know. And there is no other clue. There is no other anything written anywhere. So you don't know how to get into this lock here. And that's a problem. Because whilst I get that, yes, the whole idea is that you look around and you explore everything and you can, you know, pick up certain items and look at them and stuff. It doesn't tell you. It's just open the desk, get into the box, and that is your lot. And then you walk around and it feels more than a little bit frustrating because you can't properly get a look at anywhere because you can't zoom in to look around and you can't crouch or anything like that. And it just, you feel lost and a bit confused, and it just feels like the game's unfinished. It feels like there are tons of things that you could look at. There are tons of things that you could do to help your search to unlock this, and there just isn't. And on top of which, you've got no motivation to do so because outside of knowing that you're doing a project, in quotation marks, that's it. That's all you're told. You're here and you've got until a set time, even though there isn't a set time with the actual thing itself. You've got all the time in the world. You've got no reason to be doing this, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know why you're doing it. There's no real backstory. As a result, I can't get behind this game. I don't mind it being a puzzler, but there's got to be a little bit of direction, and there really isn't. And I feel like it's unfinished. I feel like there needs to be more done to it to make it a complete thing. It's just not. But there you go. There's my thoughts on Liber, guys. It came out at the beginning of January. I don't like it. Let me know in those comments down below whether you do or not. These are very subjective comments. Like, mechanically it works okay. You know, it does what it says on the tin. It could be better functionally, and it definitely needs better options. But as a game, I personally don't like it. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.